the representatives of the Northwest governors here present, particularly our chief host, the governor of Kaduna State, represented by his deputy, Her Excellency Dr. Hadiza Balarabe, and also the chairman of Northwest Governors Forum, Malan Dikoratda, represented by his deputy, and also the representatives of the governors of Kano, Jigawa, Zamfara, Kebbi, and Sokoto, the chairman, Senate Committee on the Northwest Development Commission, Senator Babangida Hussaini, and also the chairman, House Committee on the Northwest Development Commission, Honorable Suleiman A. Gumi, and also the representative of the Speaker, House of Representatives, Honorable Mukhtar, other members of the National Assembly here present, our respected father, Wazir Nduse, and also the chairman of Arewa Consultative Forum Board of Trustees, Alhaji Bashir Alhatu, CEOs of government parastatals here present, and also the Minister of the Ministry of Regional Development, Engineer Abubakar Momo, and also the State Minister of FCT, Dr. Maria, also the Chairman of the Northwest Development Commission, and the Managing Director of the Northwest Development Commission, Professor Shehu Abdullahi Ma'aji. All other protocols duly and respectively observed. Good afternoon to all of you, and may Allah's peace, mercy, and blessings be upon you all. Permit me to begin by thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the opportunity to converge here in Kaduna in order to discuss about the coordinated regional development involving the 7 states of the Northwest region. Furthermore, I want to use the opportunity to thank the Northwest Development Commission, Northwest Governors Forum, and also the 2 committees of the National Assembly for inviting us to be part and parcel of this very important occasion. The topic that I have been requested to speak on is assessing the digital gaps, or rather assessing the skills gaps and out-of-school children in the Northwest for innovation-led solutions, inclusivity, and productivity. This topic is very important and very apt, and by implication, in summary, I have been requested to speak on 2 important issues. Number 1 is skills gaps. Number 2, out-of-school children. And to find a solution using our innovative solutions. In an attempt to make my presentation, I will follow a 5-step algorithm superficially within the time frame. Number 1, to speak on the Northwest briefly. Number 2, the challenges of the Northwest. Number 3, skills gaps in the Northwest. Number 4, out-of-school children in the Northwest. And finally, recommendations and conclusions. Number 1, Northwest in brief. As we all know that Northwest is one of the 6 zones we have in Nigeria: Northwest, Northeast, North Central, Southwest, South-South, and Southeast. However, these 6 zones have not been recognized formally by the 1999 Constitution. However, it was earlier formulated by the Dr. Alex Ikweme Constitutional Conference, and it was adopted by the late Head of State General Sani Abacha in 1995 for administrative purposes. With the enactment of these regional development commissions: Northwest Development Commission, Northeast Development Commission, North Central Development Commission, among 3 others. At least we can say we have a principal legislation that recognizes each and every zone. And this is indeed very important, because the challenges we are confronted with cannot in any way be addressed in silos. There must be a coordinated regional approach in order to address the multifaceted challenges we are confronted with. If you look at the challenges of Kaduna, are similar to the challenges of Katsina. The challenges of Katsina are very similar to the challenges of Zamfara. Our borders sometimes are even difficult to recognize. It is because of this that our challenges cannot be effectively addressed in silos. There must be a coordinated regional approach where we come together, identify our challenges, and come up with a multifaceted approach in order to address them. And this is indeed very important. Some of the indices that will guide us to appreciate the Northwest on one hand and also the challenges on the other. Firstly, Northwest is the only zone that has 7 states in Nigeria. All the remaining are 6, while Southeast with only 5 states. 2, Northwest is the most populous zone in Nigeria. According to the recent estimation of 2025, the population of Northwest is approximately 62 to 63 million people. By implication, Northwest has over 1/4 of our total population in our country. Thirdly, the Northwest is the 3rd largest zone when it comes to land mass. Number 1 is actually the Northeast, with around 285 square kilometers, followed by the North Central with 231 square kilometers, then closely followed by the Northwest with around 223,000 square kilometers. And if you look at the landmass of the Northwest, it's larger than the landmass of the Southwest, Southeast, and South-South combined together, because South-South is around 87,000, while Southwest is only around 75,000 square kilometers, and Southeast is only 23,000 square kilometers. So naturally, landmass is a blessing. But if we fail to manage it effectively, then it will be a weapon for destruction. And this is exactly what we are witnessing today in northern Nigeria. This takes me to the second step of our discussion because of a time constraint. That is the challenges being confronted by the Northwest. These challenges are many and they are interwoven. The major ones, as earlier outlined by the previous commentators, number 1 is insecurity. Then number 2 is poverty. Number 3, unemployment. Number 4, unemployability. Number 5, moral decadence. Number 6, corruption. Number 7, lack of effective mentorship. These are the 7 major challenges that we are being confronted in the Northwest, and they are very similar to other regions of our country. And these challenges cannot in any way be addressed by a single state in silos. There must be a coordinated regional approach to these challenges because of what? Because they are similar and our communities are living together where even border is no more relevant in most of our states today. These are the major challenges we are being confronted with in the Northwest. This takes me to the next stage of my discussion, that is the skills gaps in the Northwest. There is no doubt that there is a serious skills gaps in the Northwest, in the Northeast, in the North Central, in the Southwest, in the Southeast, in the South-South. Each and every region you consider, you will discover there is a huge skills gap. And this gap is more prominent in the north than in the south. And there are many factors that are contributing to the skills gap in the north. Number one, the total collapse of industry. If you compare the northern Nigeria of today and the northern Nigeria of 1970s and 1980s, you will clearly see that there is a huge gap when it comes to industrialization from 1970s and 80s to date. In 70s and 80s, there were many industries in Kaduna, in Kano, even in places like Funtua, like in Gusau. These places are local governments, and still some of them are still local governments. But if you look at the industries we had then and compare to our situation today, you will strongly agree with me that definitely our past is better than our present. And if care is not taken, it will be better than our future. So number one, the collapse of industry in the north is a major challenge that we must revisit it. The northern Nigeria of 70s and 80s were a producer, but unfortunately, the northern Nigeria of today is nothing but a consumer. The second challenge with regards to skills gap, number two, is lack of alignment between our curricula from primary, secondary, and tertiary institutions on one hand, and also our immediate need on the other. Today, our children go to school just for the sake of obtaining WAEC, NECO, degree, second class upper, first class, and second class. But when you challenge them to come and demonstrate what they learn in school, you will find them wanting. So actually, our curricula not in any way addressing our challenges that we are being confronted with today. And this is indeed a very serious problem. We are only going to school for the sake of going to school and for the sake of learning English language and mathematics and also graduating with a degree. And most of our graduates today, they are only potential employees. They are not potential employers. Why? Because there is no skills in the certificate they obtain. So there is a huge gap today between our certificates on one hand and also the skills that are in demand globally in the labor market. And as long as we fail to address this, we will continue to produce engineers that cannot construct roads for us. We will continue to produce civil engineers that cannot in any way construct a world-class building for us. We will continue to produce architects that cannot in any way do the work that is required. So it is important that we immediately address the issue of our curriculum, where our curriculum, number one, will identify our demand for today and the future. And secondly, we must bridge the gap between theory and practice. And this is indeed very important. And I will, in this point, recommend what we call dual education. Dual education is key, which is being implemented in Germany, in Switzerland, in Finland, among many other countries. The dual education will allow you to learn in school on one hand, and in the evening or in the afternoon, you go and partake in hands-on training, like vocational training, among many others. This is indeed another challenge. And because of time constraint, let me speak on the fourth and the fifth superficially. Number four, the issue of out-of-school children. Based on the recent statistics released by UNICEF, from the age of 5 to 14, we have approximately 10.5 million children out of school. And if you extend that to the age of 18, we have around 15 million children out of school. And this number, if you look at it clearly, you will discover that the significant majority are in northern Nigeria. Secondly, another challenge that brings about out-of-school children is our cultural barriers. This is another challenge that we must address. And issue number three, the issue of poverty. If we fail to address the issue of poverty, under that pretext, many parents fail to take their children to school. In addition to that, one of our major challenges still is the issue of Tsangaya system, the Almajiri system. As far as I'm concerned, Tsangaya students are not part and parcel of out of school children, but they are undoubtedly out of formal school children. They are not in any formal school, but still they are part and parcel of the informal education. So it is important that we integrate our Tsangaya system of education. And in this area, I will strongly recommend Khalwa model of Sudan. It's very effective, where we allow our Tsangaya students to attend their Quran school in the morning, and in the evening they partake in vocational training. And after their graduation from the memorization of the Quran, they will get a role in only 1 year course. And that 1 year course will allow them to write WAEC or NECO, and they can get admitted into university immediately. That model has been adopted by the Sudan government in 1912, over 100 years today, under the Egypt Institute. So this model is very important, Khalwa model, and this will in any way will not affect their studies for the Quran, and in another way it will allow them to acquire formal education and also the worldly knowledge. My recommendations: number one, we must prioritize human infrastructure over physical infrastructure. In the north, we must understand that the most important infrastructure is our human development. Our physical infrastructure, our physical development are important, but they are secondary. The most important infrastructure is our human infrastructure. Mostly, we spend 90% of our resources in constructing buildings, which is not a problem. But the major problem, we are doing that to the detriment of the human infrastructure. Number two, it is not about coming here for summit. We are not defined by the policy we formulate, but rather we are defined by the implementation of these policies. We are defined by the execution. We are not defined in any way by our summit. I am tired of speaking during summit day in, day out, but the implementation is nothing to write home about. If we are serious, we must make sure that in this summit, whatever we discuss, we agree on, we come up with a communique. That communique must be implemented by all stakeholders. It is not about, we are not defined by the summit, we are defined by the implementation. But unfortunately, we are good in organizing events, programs, where speakers will come and speak eloquently, and that is the end of it. We will never find a solution in this situation. There is no solution in this. We have to remind ourselves, the northern Nigeria of today is not the same with that of 40 or 50 years ago. Unfortunately, other zones, other countries are developing, but unfortunately, we are being engulfed by insecurity, poverty, among many others. So it is not, we are not defined by the summit, but rather by the implementation of the outcome of this summit. That is indeed what is very important. Because of time constraint, permit me to stop here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.